Hello, it's good to have you aboard for this 6 p.m. edition of VTV News. 15 minutes of current events are coming your way. Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng today answers questions posed by the National Assembly deputies. And later, a documentary on climate change produced by Vietnam television will be shown at COP21 in Paris. Now, first off in today's news bulletin, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng today clarified several issues raised during the ongoing Q&A session of the 13th National Assembly. The Prime Minister stated that Vietnam will strengthen its cooperative and mutually beneficial relationship with China in all fields, at the same time resolutely defending the nation's independence, territorial sovereignty, and national interests in accordance with party resolutions and the Constitution and also the laws as well as UN charters on international law. Prime Minister Dũng also reported on improvements in the Vietnamese economy as of November. He noted that state budget collections have fulfilled 94% of the year's plan, increasing 8.3% year-on-year, while budget expenditures have met 88.4% of the plan, rising 7.4% year-on-year. According to a National Assembly-approved plan, the Vietnamese economy is targeted to grow at 6.2% this year and inflation controlled at 5%. Now, also on this morning working session, the National Assembly continued its Q&A session with other cabinet members, including the ministers of Planning and Investment, Construction and Finance. Now, regarding investment in construction, National Assembly Deputy Nguyễn Văn Phúc of Hà Tĩnh Province asked whether the three ministries could assist the government in calculating the amount of investment wasted in state-funded construction projects. Minister of Planning and Investment Nguyễn Quang Vinh said that the calculation was possible, though he could not guarantee its accuracy. The session also witnessed the first time a National Assembly deputy raised questions to National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng. Now, this morning working session was also the last Q&A session for the 10th sitting of the 13th National Assembly. The 27th Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC 2015 ministerial meeting wrapped up in Manila, the Philippines, on November the 17th, after 2 working days, under the theme Inclusive Growth Through Sustainable and Resilient Communities.
Foreign and trade ministers of the 21 member economies discussed measures to boost APEC cooperation in coping with challenges to inclusive growth. They stressed that the forum must implement concrete programs and projects and work together to maintain regional peace, stability, and development. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh stressed that APEC should focus on enhancing collaboration in climate change response, disaster risk mitigation, energy and food security, agricultural cooperation, environmental protection, urbanization, and human resources development. Member countries must also pay more attention to vulnerable groups like women, people with disability, and the elderly.
APEC also needs to strengthen eco-tech cooperation with a view to providing better capacity building support for developing member economies. Given the fast-changing world today, it is equally important to enhance cooperation in quality, education, vocational training, health.
The APEC Forum is one of the leading multilateral cooperation mechanisms in the region. Vietnam joined APEC in November 1998 and will once again host APEC meetings in 2017.
Now, an export forum discussing solutions for enterprises to further penetrate the United States and Latin American markets took place in Ho Chi Minh City on Tuesday. Hosted by the Investment and Trade Promotion Center, the forum aims at providing enterprises with more updated information about the U.S. and Latin America to boost exports to these markets. Vietnam is currently exporting goods to 33 countries and territories in this region, with a total export value of $9.5 billion in 2014. Experts say that this figure has yet to reach Vietnam's full export potential, so proposed solutions include holding more business exchanges between Vietnam and Latin American countries, as well as keeping Vietnamese enterprises updated on changes in these markets.
Exotic Vietnam is an intriguing blend of many charms. This land is where all manner of stunning landscapes await like a visual feast, rivaled only by the beauty of its people and their abundantly rich tradition and culture. Here is where you can relive the past in richest color or live it up in the bright lights of the big city. With so much more to offer, Vietnam is simply unforgettable.
Now, the 42nd ship for Southeast Asian Youth Program, also known as CF 2015, arrived in Ho Chi Minh City on Tuesday as part of its 40-day trip to explore participating countries. Now, the ship carrying 329 young people from Southeast Asian countries and Japan is scheduled to stay in the city from November the 17th to the 21st. Following a welcome ceremony at Cat Lai Port, delegates will pay visit to dignitaries, interact with local youth, get involved in community services, and participate in a homestay program. The ship, which started its journey on November the 5th from Japan and previously had docked in the Philippines, will visit Laos and Malaysia before returning to Japan as its final destination. Established in 1974, the Ship for Southeast Asian Youth Program is the joint effort of the Japanese government and Southeast Asian countries to foster friendship and greater understanding among youth from participating nations. Now, 80% of ocean pollution is caused by ineffective management in treating waste resources. This topic is one highlight in an event titled Global Targets, Local Benefits, Setting the Sustainable Development Agenda for the Seas of East Asia Beyond 2015. Now, the event took place in the central city of Da Nang and drew the participation of 400 deputies from 19 nations.
The EC has played an important role in Vietnamese culture for generations. More than 2.1 billion people benefit from the EC. However, population is increasing due to the negative impact of climate change.
Resource management is now ineffective and overlapping, as are the benefits for the different regions and countries. So responsibilities are not clear for the parties involved.
Management and conservation of the EC must be built on the global legal framework.
It's a concept that has gained a lot of track, especially in the context of the East Asian Seas and the PEMC partnership. By working and not looking at it as one simple sector, but a combination of different sectors working together. We have the private sector in there as a very, very important player. We have national and local government, as well as regional priority setting.
This year's EC Congress will lay the foundation for updating regional goals in line with global discussions on post-2015 Sustainable Development Targets. Since 2003, the Congress has been held every 3 years, alternating between the 12 member states, and hosted this year in Vietnam.
Now, also under the framework of the ongoing 5th East Asian Seas or EAS Congress, the 4th EAS Youth Forum or YF4, which focuses on the role of young people in the sustainable development of the seas, took place on Tuesday in Da Nang Central City. Now, bringing together more than 70 young leaders from 9 countries in the EAS region, YF4 seeks to empower young generations to care for the oceans and coasts of the region. The event features interactions between young leaders and innovators of youth-led environmental organizations in peer-to-peer learning discussions, team building, and creative activities to enhance the skills in project development and management, fundraising, the use of social media, and scientific and cross-cultural communication.
The other leading the climate action reporting.
Note a documentary about the impact of climate change on Hoi An ancient town in the central region of Vietnam will be screened on November the 19th at the COP21 Climate Summit in Paris. The documentary was made by Vietnam Television and aims to promote awareness on climate change.
Hoi An Asian town will one day disappear beneath a rising sea level. Well, this is the worst-case scenario for the city in the year 2100. The documentary was filmed and produced by Vietnam Television.
Among the 22 documentaries we will screen this November, the documentary about Hoi An is one of the best.
The documentary is about 15 minutes long. It reviews disasters that swept through Hoi An in the past and the risks Hoi An will face in the future from climate change. The film also shares the experiences of local people in disaster prevention.
Hoi An is located near the sea, so it's easily affected by climate change. There are a large population living there. Therefore, consequences will be severe.
There are many UNESCO heritages under threat of climate change. Therefore, documentaries like the one about Hoi An is a very good way to promote heritage conservation.
The film will be available on the official web and YouTube channels of the World Meteorological Organization on November 19th and will have subtitles in English, French, and Spanish.
And coming up next, as always, is the updated weather forecast. And this is it for now in VTV News, and you can find more of our coverage of the issues you care most about at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go. I'm Lenning, and thanks for watching.